Bargain free agents who could solve roster issues. This is from the Bleacher Report. And for the Browns, they say Nick Chubb averaged 3.3 yards per carry last season, never appeared to get back to full strength before being shut down with a broken foot. Poor metrics, injury concerns. He'll likely get a incentive-laden deal, which we've said. Wide receiver, this one's intriguing. Mike Williams. Few receivers possess combination of speed, size, ball tracking abilities that Williams brings to the table. Underwhelming 2024 season, managed to post a respectable 14.2 yards per carry, just 1.3 off of his career best. And he was playing for the Steelers, so they didn't use him a ton. Mike Williams didn't get a ton of snaps. I'm intrigued. I don't know. He might be well past his prime. We've talked about
Yeah.
Chubb. If you bring Chubb back on an incentive-laden deal, I don't see the downside to it.
Yeah, I think ultimately they'll get something done with Chubb in the nature that you're talking about, like incentive laden, him sort of agreeing to a hometown discount because he loves it in Cleveland and he's talked about wanting to finish his career here. And I think those two sides will work something out. I am intrigued by Mike Williams. I mean, listen, if the Browns are going to kind of have to figure out what are we going to prioritize in free agency, what are we going to prioritize in the draft, and one will sort of set the tone for the other. If they decide, like, we don't want to have to use a pick on a wide receiver because maybe because they feel like they haven't been able to develop those guys, I doubt they're going to admit that. But from the outside looking in, it certainly looks that way, given the guys they've drafted and haven't really panned out. But if they feel like maybe we need to save picks on other needs that we have, quarterback, running back, offensive line, defensive line, maybe linebacker, we'd rather prioritize those things in the draft or some of those things in the draft and go get a wide receiver in free agency or via trade. I could see that being something that they do, and the idea of Mike Williams, who I do agree is probably past his prime at this point, but could still be a contributor. The nice thing for the Browns though is, like, I think they found their number one. I think Jerry Jeudy proved he can be that number one guy, and you're now just looking for complementary pieces to surround him with. It'd be nice if you could get a rookie, and maybe they still will, especially in one of those earlier rounds. But I do like the idea of Mike Williams being added into the mix there for sure.